Hello everyone. So quite early this morning, no sun shining. When I wake up that early, it reminds me a little bit of my days in the military. By the way, my microphone also run out of battery, so I hope the sound is still fine. It's also an occasion for me to try out the setup without the microphone to see how good is the sound. But yeah, I was saying, I made, because for those of you who don't know, Switzerland, the army is compulsory. You have to do it. And since I enjoyed it, I made a bit more than the obligatory time. So the minimal time you need to do is more or less 1 year. It's split between 5 months at the beginning, where you get all the formation, and after that you need to go each year. It's like you're moving like in a system where then you maintain your knowledge during 5, 6, 7 years as a soldier, and after that you go in reserve. So that's basically the idea of having a good amount of people active during 5, 6, 7 years, and then you have the rotation all the time. And right now I'm also in reserve, so for me it was a bit different because I did a bit more. I did total almost 2 years, because I went as an officer, so you have some tests to pass, some school to do, you learn additional stuff, but I felt it's a very interesting experience, because with 20 years old you gain some experience of getting a group of men, 30 people more or less, to manage. And when I say manage, it's 24/7, 5 days a week, because we are free on weekend. We are free on Saturday morning, and we need to go back to the army building on Sunday evening. So during the rest of the time, you're basically like their father. You're responsible for all the program. You're responsible that they have something to eat, they can sleep well, and to manage all the instruction program. So it's a very interesting experience that you get at 20 years old, and that's the reason why I did this formation as an officer. It was a great time, but yeah, it reminds me when I wake up that early, those kind of moments, because we often had exercise during the night, or had to wake up early for some particular exercise, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's always great to reflect about those times, which to be honest I enjoy. And then at a point of time I had to decide, because the way it works with the Swiss army is that you can even continue later. I could have gone further up, so to say, and get additional function, get more men to manage, but then it starts to be complicated to manage with the job. It's the way it's supposed to work, because we don't have professional in the army, or very few. The rest is all normal people who have a job next to it, and it needs a lot of comprehension from your employer, that he gives you time for that. He's compensated financially from the government, so that works, but still he's losing time from you, and most of the companies don't want basically that, because they are losing a few times. So that's also was one of the reasons why I stopped, and the other reason was for me basically the family, because it starts to eat a lot of time from your family time, and it's not so easy to manage. As soon as you have kids, I think for me it was too many sacrifice to continue the army. But some part of me from time to time reflect on that and say, yeah, it could have been very interesting. I'm pretty sure I would have acquired some interesting skill, would have made wonderful experiences, because when you spend so much time together and you have some difficult moment, you get close to each other, you get to know each other, and you get proper connection. We often say in Switzerland, the friends you make in the army, you never lose them. Maybe you won't see each other for a while, but when you see each other one time, you straight away going to connect again, because we had some difficult moment together, and when you spend those time together, it puts you very close to each other. So yeah. Anyway, topic for today, apart the fact that the weather is really shitty, so it's my last day of work, and tomorrow I'm free. I'm going to Ulm and then Munich for the tournament, so it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. Topic for today that I wanted to address, 2-3 things I had in my mind. First one is, don't blame the dice. I had the t-shirt designed. I had back in the time, a couple of years ago, the idea of making maybe some t-shirts, some merchandise, not to win money, just more for the fun, and maybe yeah, people would have liked to have something with the logo of the channel and something funny on the t-shirt. I made some tests, I gave away some of them to close friends, and after that I stopped because it was a bit complicated. I wasn't too satisfied with the quality, and I don't want it also to make something too expensive, so it was a bit too much work for the fun of it. But maybe I could bring that back sometimes. But I had a t-shirt that I designed. The first one I designed was basically the logo in front, and in the back it was written, "Don't blame the dice." And I think it's a great sentence for the player that wants to improve, because I saw that from time to time in various gaming groups, at various gaming level, to be honest. Even ETC players sometimes make that mistake to focus on the dice, and the key issue is going to blurry your vision, and you're going to make you're not going to make correct admission and analysis of your mistake, and that's a big problem because you're not going to improve. So you're going to stay where you are, and not learning from a defeat is the main problem, because we're all losing game, and I lose. You saw last year I lost a lot of games, but the important is I need to understand why did I lose each of these games, and to be able to take something with it to improve and get a better player, because that's the goal, right? So yeah, the best, I think, piece of advice I could give you is don't blame the dice. Try to stay detached, stay away from the dice factor. Of course, we are all mentioning on a group chat from time to time a very unlikely event, but that shouldn't be the main point of your analysis. And after you get a defeat, you should be able to reflect on that and say, okay, I lost the game, but still the main reason for that was that point of on a macro level, that decision on a micro level, and so on. So yeah, if you want to improve, don't blame the dice. Basically, that would be my advice. Anyway, and also I could reflect to that during games. Something I've been improving years after years is trying to slowly but trying to cut some of the emotion during the game. Basically, if you are affected by emotions when you get a bad roll of dice, it's going to potentially lead toward unoptimal decisions, because emotions have the tendency to blurry your thought process, and therefore you kind of limiting what your brain would do, and I'm going to play worse. That's what I've been figuring out after all these games of playing, is that emotion have the tendency to make you playing worse, basically. So trying to get no emotion sometimes, or less emotions. It's also, on one hand, that's the way it makes sense on a competitive level. On the other hand, sometimes I miss also those moments where we played with big emotion. It also was a bit more exhausting, but was more fun as well. So I try to bring that back sometimes when I play on table for friendly game. Try to bring also more emotions when you roll dice, because that's also a fun part of the game. Anyway, so that was the first topic. Second topic, I wanted to have a word about conserve the numbers. I was happy to see in the February hotfix that they try to fix at least Skull of our Red Stop. I didn't play it yet, so I cannot really analyze that properly, but it makes sense for me, the change they made. I was very disappointed, not a big point, but still, that they didn't fix conserve the numbers, or conserve your auto secondary win, should we call it, because yeah, I've been playing a lot of times and I'm getting tired of the situation of people get defender and they are already hoping to get number 6, and as soon as you roll the dice, yes, 6, conserve the numbers. It doesn't need a second to think about it before you pick it automatically, because it's by far the easiest one to achieve. And that for me is a balance issue and should be addressed in March. So I'm really hoping they will do something about it. The problem we have is, if you look at the more powerful type of list, let's mention Dread Elf, let's mention Empire's Uninstall as well, is making a strong impression. Let's mention as well maybe KOE. KOE I think is very strong under Season Pack 2. Those armies, they have a lot of scoring, and they bring MSU fashion type of list, lot of scoring, lot of bodies, lot of units, And therefore, conserve the number is too easy also for the meta, for the type of lists that are strong in Season Pack 2 at the moment, so it's hard to fix it. If you remove the barrier from 3 to 4, maybe, but then it's going at the same time. It's not going to be much harder for an MSU to win it, and it makes even harder to bring lists without many banners. So actually, it's at the same time that you're fixing it by making it harder to achieve, you're going to make even harder to achieve, or you're making even more uncomfortable the people that don't bring many banners. So I don't know what's the fix, to be honest with you. It's meta related. Maybe the main fix would be just to move it from 3 to 4, and then to act on the books where MSU is very popular, to make the base cost higher and the additional cost a bit lower, to encourage having less unit on the table, because at the moment some of the lists are just going crazy about the amount of unit. And I think Red Elf is the best example of that. I saw some lists going on, I don't know. I mean, it's Elf, it's supposed to be elite, it's supposed to be little amount of bodies. When I see more than 100 elves on battlefields, it's getting kind of crazy. They have a lot of bodies. Yeah, I saw a list with so many, like 3 times 10 RPs, 4 times the Yemas, 2 times the Obsidian Guard, 4 times the Corsairs, and some more stuff around. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of wounds and unit for what's supposed to be an elite army is getting a bit crazy. But we will see what happened to them in March. They could get fixed as well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I need to go a bit quicker if I don't want to miss the train, so let's be a bit quicker. I will stop the video here. I wish you a very good day, and next one should be about Munich. I don't know if I will do something live or after. You will see. Take care. Goodbye.